of the Bahamas forms Tropical Depression 12, a swirling band of wind and rain. It picks up moisture and heat, and with them, speed. As its winds reach 39 miles per hour, it becomes a tropical storm and is given the name Katrina. Along the coast of Florida, a hurricane warning is announced the 1st of May. By 4 o'clock, Katrina grows into a Category 1 hurricane with 80-mile-an-hour winds it sideswipes through Florida, just north of Miami. By midnight, over 1 billion homes lose power. 11 lives are lost. Katrina hooks north into the Gulf of Mexico and quickly picks up speed and size, becoming a Category 2 hurricane. Locals try to safeguard their property as the governors of Louisiana and Mississippi declare states of emergency. As its winds reach 115 miles an hour, Katrina turns into a Category 3 hurricane with New Orleans in its sights. City officials urge those who can to evacuate. Traffic jams snarl on the highway as up to 18,000 cars an hour try to make it out of harm's way. Katrina grows into a Category 4 hurricane. A few hours later, it reaches Category 5, the highest possible rating. Winds exceed 175 miles an hour. All residents in New Orleans are ordered to evacuate. For those without the means to leave, the city sets up shelters. Many locals simply hunker down in their homes and prepare to weather the storm.
My book talk is on Hurricane Song by Paul Valpone. This book could be considered as many genres because it is based on a true story, but one of them is realistic fiction. The summary, this book is about surviving through Hurricane Katrina. Miles, the main character, this is something new to him, unlike his dad and uncle who have gone through this before. His father and him don't really get along that well and don't agree on most things, but when they're pushed together, who knows what the outcome will be. Some of the main characters are Miles, Chip, Shaw, and Doc/Pop, Uncle Roy, and Fess. Miles is a sophomore in high school. She is the main character, and he loves football. Also, he moves to New Orleans with his dad a couple of months before the storm. Doc/Pop, he is Miles' dad. He has a passion for jazz music and loves his trumpet. Uncle Roy is Doc's brother. They usually play a lot of gigs together, and he joins them during the storm. Fess is a friend of Doc and Uncle Roy's. They usually play a lot of gigs together as well, and Miles meets him in the Superdome during Katrina. Some of the settings. This book is taking place during Katrina in 2005, and some of the main places they are is the Superdome in New Orleans, the streets of New Orleans, and Pharaohs, which is where Doc and Uncle Roy and Fess play a lot of their gigs, and also on the upper level, that's where Doc and Miles live. Some of the problems. The main problem is Katrina has hit, and they thought it was worse than what they thought. The soldiers that are guarding from anybody getting out of the Superdome into the extreme bad weather, they aren't really doing anything besides keeping them from going anywhere. And also there are gangs grouping up in the Superdome. This one is pretty bad because a section over from where Miles and his family were, they actually set the section on fire. Some facts about Katrina. The total deaths was 1,833. Her highest winds was 174 miles per hour. The lowest pressure was 902 MBs. The date was August 23rd, 23rd, 2005 through August 30th, 2005. It was a Category 5 hurricane. Katrina was the most deadliest and most destructive tropical cyclone of the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season. The drum. At the beginning of the book, it was Miles' birthday, and his dad got him a drum to try to bring Miles and his music closer together. When Miles describes the drum in the book, it looks a lot like this one. Then Uncle Roy pulled an empty green duffel bag from under the driver's seat, and him and Pop put their horns at the bottom of it like they were hiding them. And with the clothes and every other things they piled on top.
Please excuse the interruption.
Yes,
We have Peter Alexander for checkout.
on his way.
And other things piled on top that they got so heavy I was the only one who could carry it without stopping to rest every minute. We started walking with all our stuff, and if Pop and Uncle Roy weren't with me, I'd have probably felt like I was running away from home. The Superdome's huge and takes up 4 or 5 blocks easy. It looks like a cross between concrete flying saucer, all round and smooth, and some kind of nuclear reactor. The New Orleans Saints pro football team plays there. I heard that's where the city championship high school game gets put on too. I'd never been inside it before, but I was hoping the first time I'd set foot in the Superdome, I'd be playing for the city title instead of running from the storm. Everybody on the streets was headed there too. Young people, old people, pushing shopping carts loaded up with their things, and whole families. Except for the faces of little kids, they all looked stressed over it. Oh, these are some pictures before Katrina hit, and these are some pictures after. And as Miles describes it, this is actually the section that he was in. My relationship to this book. Katrina actually had a really big impact on my family, especially because part of my family had to go out and help with the cleanup. Secondly, we had family near where it hit, so we were worried about them. And then finally, I have a family member that was originally from there, so when he saw the destruction of it, he was pretty sad, but at the end of the day, everybody was okay. The recommendation. I would recommend this book to anyone who wants to learn more about the survival of Hurricane Katrina. Also, it is probably meant for about 6th grade and up because of the language. So if bad language bothers you, you probably wouldn't enjoy this book as well. And also, if you have read the book Perfect Storm or seen the movie, this would be a really good book for you. Thank you.